Welcome to the Veteran Entrepreneur Network. I'm your host, Cameron Burrell, Army engineer veteran, entrepreneur, and fleet operations business owner. On this podcast, we talk trucking, logistics, fleet operations, entrepreneurship, business growth, leadership, and real-world lessons from the field. Let's get into today's episode.
A quick story. Last year, a small fleet washing outfit showed up to a big yard, hit a trailer's reflectors with a pressure washer wand, and knocked off a section worth more than a week's profit to replace. The client froze payments, the insurer opened an investigation, and the owner spent days digging receipts and texts. One missing certificate, one absent endorsement, and a simple pre-job checklist would have changed how that played out. Instead, cash got tied up, credibility took a hit, and the business paid in time and stress.
Promise. In the next 10 minutes, I'm going to break insurance and risk into practical, plain language steps you can use this week. We'll cover the core policies you need, how to read and issue certificates of insurance, field controls that reduce claims, a simple incident response flow, and a few low-cost moves to save on premiums. I'll also drop a short checklist you can use tomorrow. Quick note, this is practical guidance, not legal advice. For contract-specific questions, run it by your broker or attorney.
Section 1. Core Policies Explained. Let's make these simple. First, commercial auto. This covers your owned trucks, vans, and the vehicles you use to move gear and crews. If a tech backs into a trailer, or you have a collision going between jobs, commercial auto is the policy that responds. Make sure it covers hire trailers and equipment you transport.
Next, general liability. This protects against third-party property damage and bodily injury happening during your operation. Say a client slips when a rinse puddle forms, or you accidentally spray a client's parked vehicle. General liability is the baseline most clients ask for when you work on site.
Inland marine might sound fancy, but it's just coverage for mobile equipment and tools in transit or at job sites. For a fleet washing service that owns compressors, pressure washers, or trailers filled with chemicals, Inland Marine protects that gear while it's on the road or parked on site.
Hired and non-owned auto is critical if your team drives client vehicles or rented trucks. If you borrow a box truck or an employee uses their personal vehicle for work, this fills a gap between the owner's policy and your work risk.
Finally, workers' compensation covers employee injuries on the job. If a tech strains a back loading equipment or slips during a wash, this is the coverage that protects them and limits employer liability. In most states, it's mandatory, and it's non-negotiable for long-term survival.
Section 2. Certificates, endorsements, and field controls. Let's start with a Certificate of Insurance, or COI. A COI is a one-page snapshot a client asks for. It shows who is insured, what policies, and the limits. When a client names you as a vendor, they may ask to be listed as an additional insured. That shifts certain liability protection to them. When you request a client list, you should check 3 things on the COI: policy name, policy number, and the effective and expiration dates. Don't accept an expired COI. A couple of endorsement basics. Additional insured can protect the client for claims arising from your work, but it's limited by wording. Ask for additional insured, primary and non-contributory only if the client requires it, and understand the premium impact. Waiver of subrogation prevents the insurer from pursuing the client for reimbursement after paying a claim. Useful to clients, but it can raise your costs. Keep these negotiations in line with your broker.
Operational risk controls are where you save money and headaches. Start with daily equipment checklists. Quick pre-shift inspections for hoses, fittings, wantics, and trailer lights. Standard operating procedures, written and laminated in every truck, reduce guesswork. Train technicians on site walkthroughs before starting work. Identify fragile areas, agree on staging, and take photos. If something looks risky, stop and call the client. Documentation is everything. Timestamps, photos, video, and signed job acceptance forms cut liability down fast.
Incident response flow. A simple, repeatable 5-step routine to protect your record. 1. Secure the scene and make sure people are safe. 2. Document everything with photos and notes. Don't rely on memory. 3. Notify your supervisor and the client quickly, but avoid admitting fault in writing. 4. Contact your broker or insurer with your initial report and share the documentation. 5. Follow up with corrective actions and a client-facing plan to repair or remediate. Acting fast and consistently keeps claims small and insurers cooperative.
Section 3. Cost-saving strategies and a quick recap. There are practical levers you can use to lower premiums without sacrificing protection. Bundle policies with one carrier for better rates. Raise deductibles where cash flow allows. And participate in loss control programs. Insurers often offer credits for documented safety programs and training. Consider a claims threshold for minor losses you'll self-insure instead of reporting every small incident, but do this only after talking to your broker so you don't trigger coverage problems. Incentives for technicians. Small bonuses for 0 claim months or for completing safety training pay for themselves and reduced losses.
Now the 5-point checklist you can use this week. 1. Pull current COIs for your top 5 clients and confirm effective dates. 2. Add a 1-page pre-job checklist to every job folder and enforce it in the field. 3. Talk to your broker about appropriate limits and any endorsements clients frequently request. 4. Document an incident response template and train your crew on the 5-step flow. 5. Ask your carrier about loss control credits and consider increasing deductibles intentionally. Do these 5 and you'll already be harder to insure poorly and easier to do business with. If this episode helped, share that 5-point checklist on your social channels. Snap a photo of your updated checklist and tag the show on social_media so other owners see it. Subscribe to the podcast, leave a review, and if you want tools or templates, check the episode notes for downloadable checklists and COI samples. Keep in mind, protecting your business isn't glamorous, but it's how you keep cash flowing and doors open. Real-world business, real strategies, real results.
Thanks for listening to the Veteran Entrepreneur Network. If today's episode brought you value, make sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share the podcast with another entrepreneur, owner-operator, or business professional. Keep building, keep learning, and keep moving forward. We'll see you on the next episode.